Today we're doing a home painting. Now you can change whatever word you want to put on there. You can change to hope, love, life, or any four-letter word you prefer. This painting isn't real hard, and the best thing about it is it's really quick. You go from a blank canvas to a completed painting in about an hour. And you don't need a lot of materials to do it. So for today, we're using 5 different colors. Now, if you don't want to use the same colors we did, because we used kind of a bluish green color and a pink color for the aurora borealis behind the trees. If you don't want that pink in there, you can change the colors up. Let's see, what I've got bright red, true navy, Christmas green, and then just white and black. You don't need a lot of brushes for this. Really, all you actually need is a fan brush, a 1.5 2-inch flat brush, and a toothbrush or any other stiff bristled paintbrush. I'm just using it for making little spatters on the canvas. So not a toothbrush you use. And an optional smaller flat brush and a detail brush. They're nice to have. You don't absolutely need them for today, but charcoal. We're going to be using charcoal today to sketch in our letters. If you've got stencils that you want to use, awesome, but you're still going to need the charcoal or something to outline with. I think that's all we need. Let's get started on our background. Now for our background, we're going to do the northern lights, the aurora borealis, and we're going to use a blue-green color and a pink color. Now if you don't want to use the pink color, you can use a different color. You can keep it just like a darker blue-green, a lighter blue-green, or green and blue, or purples. I mean, you can really choose any number of colors, whatever suits you. But for this one, I'll show you how to do the blue-green and the pink. We'll start with the blue-green color, and for that I bet you can't guess what colors we're going to put on our fancy paper plate. You guessed it. Blue and green. Now if you want it to tend more to the blue, obviously you'd want to put more blue in the color mixture. If you're looking for more green, put more green. And to start off, we're going to be using our flat brush, the 1.5 2-inch brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up first. We are going to add some white onto our plate or our palette. But first I want to make sure I mix up a bit of this blue and green. Now you can see I've still got some separated here. I didn't mix up the whole pile. And that's just because if I want to go in later and mix a little more green, but not as much blue, I still have a little pile of green here to do that with. Now we're going to add a little bit of white in here. A lot of bit of white. Alright, and what you'll do is dip the tip of the bristles into that white, and then we'll see what color we're going to end up with. I like that. I like the look of that color. So that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm just going to keep this color. Now if you do that and you see that it's way too green, put a little more blue in, or, you know, if it's way too blue and you want more green, put more green in. But that's really the way to test what this is going to look like when you put it on the canvas, is dip it in the white and spread it on your plate for a second. Just look at it. I like this color, so I'm going to dip in the dark color, that blue-green color I've mixed. I'm going to dip just a little bit in the white. So see, I've just got it just in the tips of the bristles. And now I'm going to do an angled stroke on the canvas. I'm going to start in this corner here. And I'm just gonna brush this down. And we're not going to be filling the whole canvas with this color. We're going to be kind of moving it around, and we're going to leave gaps and spaces for our pink color. So keep that in mind as you're going to leave some spaces for the pink. Now, if you want to have two different colors going of the green and blue, you can do that. Just once in a while dip in the blue and the white, once in a while dip in the green and the white. You can do that if you want to, and just kind of vary the color as you go. Now notice I'm still keeping that angle as I'm going. So even though I'm now going to be going this way, I'm still keeping that angle. Now if you want to turn your brush vertically, you can make a lot sharper lines here at the border of the colors. Well, what will be the border of the colors, obviously it's just white right now there, but if you want just big fat lines, you can hold it horizontally. And every once in a while just dip into some white and streak it through the darker color here. See, I've just dipped into just straight white now. And don't mix it in quite as much. Just let those lines stay. Because if you over mix it, you lose all those individual lines. Now another thing to keep in mind as you're doing this, remember we're going to be putting, it's just going to be letters showing through this. So don't stress too much about how your background looks, because it will all come together in the end. And it's really, I've had a lot of students who really get stressed out at this stage, and then at the end they realize they were stressed out for nothing. So don't let it get to you. Just do your best and forget the rest. Now see how I'm make sure you leave gaps in here. See how I'm doing that? I'm just leaving some blank canvas. I don't know if you can see. I've still got the mixed color and the separate colors on my plate, and I've just been kind of playing with them with each different reloading of the brush. I'll, stir it up a little bit and go into the white. I might hit a little more of the blue one time, a little more of the green. That's why I'm getting all these different colors on here. I mean, it's still a blue-green, but there's different shades of it. And if you really like the big bold streaks, you can just dip your brush in the white and just really just a gentle, and don't mix it. Just let it kind of hang on the canvas there. I really like that color. That's fun. Alright, and I like to have some dark streaks in there too. Now notice we did not put any black in this. A lot of people put black in to darken things up, but you can really lose the vibrancy of your color by putting black in to darken it. And one thing to keep in mind too, and if you've watched any of my other videos, You'll know this, the acrylic paint dries darker than it goes on. So if you're worried about it not being dark enough, just give it a minute. We're gonna call that good. So we've got our blue-green portion in, and now we want to put the pink color in. We are gonna want to wash our brush. Now for the paint color, all we need is red and white. And you don't need a lot of red. Red is a really strong color. It goes a long way. So just a little bit of red and a lot of white. Now if you wanted to do purple instead, you just add a touch of blue to that. It doesn't take much. See, I'm just dipping the corner of my brush into that red. It makes a nice pink color. Now if you want it really dark pink, you can add more red. But I'm looking for kind of just a light pink. So I've got my pink mixed up there. I'm going to dip into some more white. Then I'm going to move up here. I'm going to start up here. I'm just going to start brushing it in and see how it looks. Now, I think I want that just a little bit darker. So just a touch more red. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, there we go. Now as you blend right to the edge of that blue-green color, just blend to the edge of it. It's okay if you get a little bit in your brush and it kind of wants to mix in with that pink a little bit. It's all right a little bit, but you don't want a whole mess of it, because it will end up all being one color if you let that blend too much. All right, mix up a little more. I really don't have to worry about this corner because it's all probably pretty much going to be covered. It's black, but we'll hit it anyway. And got a corner here. You'll notice I'm still keeping the same angle. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm holding the brush vertically, but at an angle here as I hit these borders. It just tends to make a cleaner transition. Just gives you a little more control over the brush too as you're filling in the paint on the border. And you can still dip into some straight white and streak it in with the pink too. And again, at this bottom part, a lot of this is going to be black. But since we don't know exactly where the black is going to show and where you might have a space, I mean, we are going to have trees down here, but you never know where a space might pop up between the trees. And you don't want any white canvas showing through. All right, so we've got our blue-green, we've got our pink. If you want to continue doing paintings with me, hit that subscribe button and you can keep up with me. Thanks.